All right, welcome to the All Things Content, Clients and Cash Flow for your profit and impact focus coaches and consultants. This is the LV podcast. We're going to be talking about like customer experience, right? CX, which is probably something new to you because it's kind of fairly new to me, but I think I got it. But I have the expert here, Mr. Wess Walters. We're going to be talking with him in just a second. So let's do it. Coming up next. One shot, now the future is yours. Go. All right, now we're back here with Mr. Wess Walters. Wess, I like to call you Worldwide Wess. Is that okay?
I love it.
I feel like you would leave a worldwide mess just being Mr. Worldwide Wess. Shout out to Jay-Z.
You have permission. You have the permission.
No, I appreciate that. So, Wess, I'm so excited to have you. Thank you so much for this. I really mean that you're sharing your time. I know that you're extremely busy. You're a family man. So I'm thankful that you're coming on the podcast this week to really help us, look and discover how to get better dealing with our clients, dealing with our customers. Is that cool?
That is totally cool.
So Wess, real quick, and I want to ask you, what was the moment, right? Because you have a lot of skill set, right? You do a lot, but what was the moment where the light bulb clicked and said customer experience? What was that for you?
Well, the moment was like you. I have a video background, so in a past life, I was a videographer, producer. If you search deep enough, you can Google Wess Walters and find some of the music videos that I've produced. I've produced and directed documentaries. So video background, television and film production degree. So you name it, Photoshop, Final Cut. Little history, I started editing on Final Cut 3. Final Cut 3. A lot of people don't know what that means, but
I know exactly what that means. I'm surprised I was old enough to know what that means.
Final Cut 3. Yeah. So it happened when I would work side by side with the baddest motion graphic designers east of the Mississippi. I would even venture to say in the country. I would work with the dopest music directors or the dopest film directors, or you name it, fill in the blank.
Yeah.
And they were the best. However, when I would solicit them or whenever I would be on the set with them in order to secure a gig, it was, hey, can I get an advance? Or, hey, Wess, I know you're going to hire me. Can you front me the money first? Or so these were the best in their industry. However, they didn't have enough money for a Metro card. And I couldn't understand. And I was like, how are you so talented and you're not able to, and you're broke? And, as I did more research, I'm like, listen, you're the best. Because you don't know your worth and your value, I'm going to get you for pennies on a dollar. And I realized, and I did more research, and I realized the reason why it was like that is because, yes, they were the best at their craft. They were amazing technicians. However, they were awful business individuals.
Okay.
So they didn't understand the importance of creating an awesome customer experience. They didn't understand how important that was. And the reason was, I want to be clear, it wasn't because these people were bad people.
Right.
Because initially you'd be like, well, yeah, he's incompetent. African Americans are inept. They can't run businesses. No, it's not that. It's that what I found as I dig deeper is that most of the individuals who were in my media circle became entrepreneurs because of that effort moment. Whether they went to the job and the manager told them something they didn't want to do, and they were like, F it, I'm leaving, or they were emancipated by proxy, right?
Right.
And because of that emancipation and that redemption comes with great drive. Yes, that's the positive. But also it was accompanied with, this is my business. I can do what I want to do.
Right, right.
So the dichotomy was, yeah, great. You can use that for energy as fuel to move forward. Like, hey, you know what? Screw everybody else. I'm going to work for myself. Great. Okay. However, you can't serve your customers with that same energy. Like, this is my business. Yes. The marquee says 9 o'clock.
Right.
Open 10-ish. It all depends on what time I got in from the club.
Right.
Or, yes, the meal calls for 2 pieces of fish, but I'm gonna give you 1 because that's a good piece of 1 fish.
Right.
So like they didn't understand the importance of creating a customer experience, and because of that, they failed, and they failed or they would plateau quickly, and and I'm like, why can't I get ahead?
Yeah.
Well, it's because are you open for coaching? Yes. It's because you have not taken the time to create an awesome right then. That was it for me.
That was
and
it.
Then when I started digging, I'm like, okay, how do I transition from video into customer experience? When I would do the Google searches, all of the experts were male, over 50, and lily white. And I was like, oh, this is gonna be easy. Like, I got my own lane. Like, all I gotta do is perfect my craft, and this is going to be easy. Now, let me add this before I end. Because all of the ones who were doing it were over 50, male and white, I automatically thought I had to assimilate that. So if you look to go to my Instagram page now on YouTube, you see me in my authentic self. Of course, hanging around Marquell and the Client Attraction University. That's one of the biggest gems I got, was like, just be your authentic self. And of course, I learned that as well from being in Hustle University with Hotep as well. But initially, my videos, and some of them are deleted, but some of them are still up there. My first broadcast was like, yes, this is Wess Walters, and thank you for tuning in to CX in the morning. And
man,
it was and because I thought that's what I had to do.
Man, and Wes, here's a funny thing. I would probably laugh and fall on the floor if I saw those videos, because that's not who you are. The Wes that I know, you just who you are.
The blazer is because I like to be fly, but it was a blazer with a tie.
Yeah,
no. It was a suit. It was a suit. I was in a suit. Just, hey, this is Wess Walters.
Yeah. So what was that moment, right? So let's drill down, right? What was that moment where you was like, this is it for me? Because so many times we always ask people like, okay, what do you do? And nobody really cares about what you do. I think what's more interesting is that moment that you transition, like literally, when you watch a movie and they have that scene where the light bulb came on for that superhero and now they became Spider-Man. Mm-hmm. Like, what was it for you? What was that one moment?
That moment for me was, again, when I decided, because I'm the type of person, I can't half do something.
Right.
Like, I'm the type of dude that kills an ant with a sledgehammer. like, yeah, I could just flick the ant, but I'm get a sledgehammer just to be sure he's dead. So when I do it, I overdo it. So the minute I decided and I learned that I didn't want, so I think it was either Hotep or I think it was Natasha Davis Bowen of Impact Branding. And she was like, I gave her a card one time, right?
Yeah.
And it had, call Wess for cinematographic weddings videographer. And then the back of the card was also, if you need some customer experience, call me. And she was like, no. So at that point, she was like, look, you're going to have to choose. Like she said, I'm not saying you can't do video, but you can't be known as video.
Right.
And if you're going to do video, it needs to be something only your immediate circle knows, or you cannot promote that. Right. So you have to go deep on customer experience. And right then, I was like, okay, I threw all those cards away, and I was
start all over
experience. And once I tapped into my authentic self, man, it became easy. Like, the shows in the morning are not hard anymore because I don't have to act. I show up. This blazer hangs right outside the office, and I can put on any shirt underneath and just put the blazer on. And hey, welcome to CX in the morning. This is your man Wess Walters.
Nice. So Wes, real quick, break it down. What is CX? What is customer experience? Because I believe, listening to you, if I didn't know you would know anything about you, and I'm watching this podcast, it sounds like customer service.
Yes, I'm glad that you asked. So customer experience and customer service are very close. So I truly believe that we don't want to be walking around with memorizing definitions.
Right.
I want you to understand, and I want the viewers to understand. So I'm going to put it in a way where everyone understands. So customer service is that overarching umbrella.
Okay.
And that everyone knows, because everyone says when they're having a bad day, let me speak to customer service.
Yeah.
Everybody knows customer service, right?
Right.
So customer service is the assistance or help that you get from the entity when something is going wrong or something is going right. Hence, we have good customer service or bad customer service.
Gotcha.
Everybody understands. So pretty much everyone understands what customer service is. Now, the difference between customer experience is the customer's perspective of what it was like doing business with your business in the entire journey.
Okay.
Pre-sale, sale, and post-sale.
Okay.
So in that way, everyone gets it. So you don't have to know the definition of customer experience. But when I say it like this, you understand. So the key word here is, Lav, the customer's perspective, because 92% of business owners, if you ask them, how are you doing? Oh, we're great. We're the best.
How do you know that?
Best. But when you ask the customers, they're like, nah, bro, you're not that well.
Yo, that's the gut punch right there, Wes. So the customer experience is really from start to finish, right? And how
the entire journey. And again, it's the customer's perspective. You could think you're doing a great job. If they feel that this was the worst experience ever, that's the customer experience. It's not, it's not called the business owner's experience.
Right.
It's not called the entrepreneur, the solopreneur. It's called the customer's experience.
I love it. I love it. I love it, man. I love that. I believe what you're sharing with us, Wes, is really like a mindset and a perspective shift, right? Mm-hmm. Because we just think, in order to assist, right, customer serve or serve a customer is to put out a fire, and how well you put out their fire is all that it is. And you're like, no. It's from the rooter to the tutor. It's from A to Z. So now with that, right? So we talked to client-based business owners here, coaches and consultants, right? Mm-hmm. So from your perspective, how can coaches and consultants like really utilize, the customer experience in their business? Now, I'm going to give you a setup. I'm going to throw you alley-oop. Mm-hmm. So, and this is something that I know you're familiar with due to Client Attraction University with Marquell and Mr. Dre, right? I call him Drizzy Dre sometimes just to mess with him, right? So let's say I'm a coach. What is the process I need to pay attention to when I'm attracting a prospect? So let's start from the beginning and let's quickly just narrow that process down. So what does that look like from a coaches and consultant? What should they be thinking about during this process?
This is thank you for the alley-oop. This is easy. I could do this blindfolded, right?
Yeah.
The first thing is that coach or consultant needs to know who their ideal client is.
Sure.
They need to know who that avatar is, because that allows you to serve them at a worldwide level.
Yes.
You cannot serve them at a word like I made an example on one of my broadcasts recently. I said Walmart cannot serve African Americans at a world-class level because they are serving African Americans and Anglo-Saxons and Hispanics, and so they cannot serve heterosexual men at a world-class level because they're serving heterosexual men and straight and homosexual men. So they're serving a broad amount of people, the Walmart model. Now, as a coach, that's not what you want to do. You want to fine tune on your avatar, know who the demographic, know the psychographics of your avatar. If you know that, then you can begin to serve them at a world-class level and serve them the way they want to be served. The way, if I was your ideal client, the avatar for Wes, you cannot use it for your Anglo-Saxon customer.
Sure.
Or even if I was from Brooklyn, you can't serve me the way you would serve someone from Compton or Watts.
Sure.
So knowing who your avatar is the first thing, and once you know them, you'll be able to serve them at a world-class level.
So what's next?
After that, it comes down to what I call the 3 pillars of supreme customer experience.
Oh, I got my pillars. Let me write that down. 3 pillars.
You don't even got to write it down. You can find it in the book, 3 Simple Tools to Awesome Customer Experience. And you can find it on Amazon or in Wess Walter CX.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love how you just did that, right? So the three pillars, they can grab the book, they can dive it deep into it. Can you give us the titles of the three pillars real quick?
Yes, the three pillars are, the first pillar is the first impression.
Mm.
And the second pillar is the connection.
Mm.
And the third pillar is the execution. Now, the key fact is, the caveat here, or the got you, is the first impression, coaches, happens without you being present.
Mm.
So let's take the big elephant in the room, social media.
Okay. That's what I thought you were going. I wanted to make sure,
Yes.
but I got you.
Yes, your potential clients, if you have done a great job with your pixels in place, they're following you. I mean, you're following them, and
Yes.
they're seeing your content showing up.
Sure.
Don't think for 1 second that they're not going in to see, let me see who this Lev Hunter really is.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the customer experience has already started before they even booked a call. The strategy session, you think the strategy session now you're going to show up in your, but no, they already saw that video of you, talking bad about people from Flint, Michigan. And those people in Flint deserve the water that they got. And now you're wondering why she canceled.
Yeah.
Because the customer experience for her is like, how can this person be so inconsiderate that she's saying that the people from Flint deserves the water that they have?
Yeah.
I'm no longer interested in doing business with you. So the customer, the first impression happens without you.
Right.
Now, the second pillar, which is the connection, a lot of individuals say that this is the most important pillar. Sometimes I agree, and sometimes I don't. It depends on what industry you're in. I would definitely venture to say with consulting, this is definitely the most important pillar. The connection is the human dynamic of the customer experience.
Nice.
You're going to be consulting. Yes, even though they connected with you via technology, even though they're probably interacting with you in your private Facebook group, even though they're interacting with you with your own private app, once you get to face-to-face, you want to capitalize on using human dynamics for human interactions.
Gotcha.
That's the second pillar, and I would say, as a coach and consultant, that is the most important as it comes to the three pillars.
Now, do you think that can be strengthened through like an enrollment call?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. The person on the enrollment call wants to be human. That comes in building the rapport at the beginning. A lot of like I was on a call one time, and interested in a product, and for the enrollment call, the coach had her Zoom off. She had her camera off, and I'm like, "Hey, are you there?" She's like, "Yes, I'm here. I'm not gonna put my camera on." And I got suited and booted. I'm like, "All right, cool. Well, guess what? Like, if you are gonna be coaching me and you don't want me to see you, like,
yeah, this is not gonna work. That dog don't hunt.
I'm out."
Yeah, that dog don't hunt right there.
Yeah.
That ain't gonna work, Cuddy.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, that just ain't gonna work. You know what I mean?
Not,
like, I'm not about to give you this money and I can't see your face. I can at least see a picture of Jordan when I go buy some.
But guess what? She was operating off of like what we discussed earlier. Hey, this is my business. I'm emancipated, and I can do what I want. I ain't gotta put my camera. Yes, you can. Yes, you can do that, but there are consequences that come with it.
Yes. So what's your last pillar?
And the last pillar is the execution lab.
Yeah.
So in review, it's the first pillar is the first impression. The second pillar is the connection, and the third pillar is the execution. What does execution mean? Simply delivering on your brand promise. At the mundane level is doing what you say that you're going to do. If you promise these deliverables and this is the outcome that I'm going to get after going through your 6-week program, please, the minimum, it needs to be that. And I always believe in over delivering. So that's the absolute minimum.
Yes.
But yeah, you have to be able to deliver on the brand promise.
Nothing wrong with that. Like, yo, word is bond is what I heard.
Exactly.
When you said that, word is bond.
And that's the quickest way to ruin the customer experience where, hey, I was expecting shrimp scampi and you gave me a Subway sandwich. Like, whoa. I
Ugh.
ordered shrimp scampi, and that's how your clients feel when you say, "Hey, you're gonna have this transformation at the end of this 12 weeks,"
Yeah.
and then they're like, "I'm more confused than I was. Like you took me down another rabbit hole so that you could send or sell me another product, and I'm worse than I be when I began."
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah, because now they like confused, and now they're gonna have like coaching trauma.
Yes.
They're not gonna want to work with. It's gonna take them forever to work with somebody else because you didn't deliver on your execution. I love those 3 pillars, Wes. So I want to ask you a question as we get closer to winding this up. Right? Like, what is the top? If you could just pick one, what biggest mistake you see that coaches and consultants make, and you probably already made mention in your pillars, but that they make, and how do you fix it? Right. So if they're making that mistake and you're watching right now, I want Wes to fix it for you. What's the mistake that they could be making right now? The top one that you see, rookie mistake. Let's fix it.
I think that like we talked about it the entire time. Like it's so funny that you asked that. We talked about it the entire time. Is again being a coach. A lot of coaches, even being associated with CAU, what we learned is a lot of them or were full time. They had full time jobs.
Yes.
Right. So the coaching income or revenue, once it eclipsed their jobs, they were like, "Hey, I'm out." Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they are used to being micromanaged. They're used to being there at 8:30, clocking in at 8:30, leaving at 4:30.
Right.
These are the constructs that they're used to.
Right.
So now this new independence, first of all, I make what I made at my monthly salary. I make it in a day. I have all this free time.
Yes.
What I see creeps in is, hey, I could do what I want. This is my stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is that like it almost happens on a subconscious level. You're like, I got all this free time. Like the minute I hear something that's different from me, like, oh, what do you say about the Celtics? Like, let me tell you how I feel. That's the biggest problem. And how do you rectify that? You rectify it is knowing that, listen, you are here to serve.
Yes.
You are here to serve. Period. Not no comma, semi. You are here to serve. Period.
Yeah.
And if you can't serve, then maybe you should go back to your full-time job, because on this planet, if you're going to be here, you're going to have to serve. Husband serves wives, wives serves husband, teacher serves students, students serve principal. Like if on this planet, when you get your own planet, you can make your own rules.
Yeah.
But on this planet, you have to serve. So why not just serve? Why not be well at it, good at it?
Man, you know what, Wes, that's one of the things that, I don't know how much of my content you consume because I know you're super busy and I don't trip if you can or can't, but that's something that I push, right? Yeah. The bigger the problem you solve, the more money you make. Yep. Right. I have a relationship first approach to it all. Like build a relationship. So it's definitely in line with all that you're saying, because we do have a book coming out. It's called Being Social on Social Media, the relationship first framework to grow your business online through social media. Just thought I'll do a shameless plug right there. Nice. But how do we get them to fix it? Now we know the problem, right? Mm-hmm. It's a mindset, it's a perspective issue, because now that you off your job, you're making a little bit of change. You think you can just not serve at a high level anymore, because now we both know once that motor start going and before they get that client, they serving at a high level. They doing everything. They get that first client serving at a high level. Yeah. But then something kicks in, right? It's that mindset. So how do we fix that?
I think the way you fix it is you of course not going into mindset, is that what I do is this is the quickest and easiest way to do it. Okay. Is I do a SWOT analysis on my life, on myself every quarter. I would say do that now.
Okay.
Look at where your strengths are, your weaknesses, your opportunities, and your threats. Do that right now. And the opportunities and the threats are where the gems are. The opportunities and the threats are where the gems are. Concentrate on those. And in those threats and opportunities are showing you some of the things that you're lacking in.
Boom. I like it. I like how you just be getting like you just kind of like strategically with a knife, like bing, bing. You're strategic. you're surgical with this information today, Wes. So I appreciate it, man. As we get close to winding it down here, Wes, first and foremost, if someone wants to, for lack of better terms, right? I'm just saying lack of better terms. How can they get the ball rolling to pick your brain? Like, where can they find you? How can they work with you? Where are you at on social media?
I am at Wess Walters, and obviously, thank God you have my lower third there.
Yeah.
Wess with 2 S's, no T's. Wess Walters on all social media platforms, all except Facebook. Right?
That's crazy. I never thought about that, Wes.
Yeah, I'm on Wess Walters, like Instagram, Twitter. What else is every platform? I'm Wess Walters. On Facebook, I'm Wess Walters and Associates. But I'm sure if you type in Wess Walters, Wess Walters and Associates will show up. But yeah, sure. They can find me on any social media platform, or if they want to get right to me immediately, a priority is you go to workwithwess.com. That's workwithwess.com.
There it is. And I think you should. If you are looking to really improve that aspect of your business, if you're getting a lot of opportunities where you're talking to people on enrollment calls and you have a nice social media, everything looks really good and it seems to be working, but that conversion is not there, I think you may overlook the opportunity of talking to someone like Wes, because you know what? Here's the real issue. It's your customer experience. Let's fix this before we get to you spending thousands upon thousands on ads and money doing everything else and new courses and new things to try to fix the problem, when really the issue is your CX. So, Wes, I appreciate you coming on, man. Anything you want to share with us before you leave?
And I appreciate you inviting me. I appreciate you allowing me to talk to your viewers and trusting me with your viewers.
Oh, man, come on, Wes. You know, I call you Worldwide Wes.
Worldwide Wes.
You know what I'm saying? And that because it's worldwide, customer experience.
Well, yeah, I feel like.
Can I coin you that? Can we start that here?
Hey, here it is, ladies and gentlemen. The new name is Worldwide Wes. You heard it here first. Anyone else says they gave me that name, look them in their face and say, you're lying. Lev gave him that name. World premiere.
Well, we appreciate you guys tuning in each and every Monday. We bring someone here on the podcast, the LVTV podcast, to actually, bring some value to you. Again, all things content, clients, and cash flow for the focus. And for the focus coach and consultant, that's like really want to make sure they tap into that profit and their impact. So that's what this is all about. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you on Monday. And again, man, continue to be social on social media. Please put on a mask. You know what I mean? It's still COVID out there. It's a new strain. Just put on a mask. It'll be okay. See y'all next week.